I had a guy to shout out, self-regulating, self-soothing. Thank you. One of my guys to shout it out so that they also know that they are their own superhero. Thank you. And I'm trying to explain to them at the same time as well. A parent will obviously understand when something's dangerous, so they're going to redirect a toddler, a baby, as in the sense of don't touch, that hurts, that burns, or whatever. But they're saying that the child decide what is safe and unsafe. Let the child decide what they need to learn to some degree. Thank you. Not that you place a child in a bubble of total protection. That's interesting. And at the moment, my grandson keeps following around the dog, and the dog is actually stopping him sometimes from going into danger. They're sort of showing me that the dog is almost direct and sort of don't touch this, don't do that. So thank you. It's like finding their balance. Okay, thank you. They're saying to me the dog learns from its gut instinct. The dog learns from its gut instinct. Okay, thank you, got it. But adults tell a child whether it's right or wrong. Thank you. They said it gets confusing when the child is still seeing its guardian or its guide, the invisible friends. And when the adult says there's no such thing or don't believe them or they cannot see it, the child then doubts themselves. So already, thank you, they said that already they are creating confusion for the child because the child sees their invisible friend. The child is aware that there are guides around them, but yet the adult says they cannot see them because the adults are the disbelievers. Whereas animals tune into their gut feelings. We need to learn about the gut feelings again, they said. Thank you. Thank you. And they're saying that not every child will have the same ability when we're at school. The children have different abilities in the sense of some children will learn in different ways. Thank you. But they're saying, but the structure of trying to change how that individual child will learn, as in, thank you, left, right-handed, that is affecting the children already from a very early age. It's like we are correcting them, whereas automatically it might be easier for them to pick up a pen, a pencil from left hand instead of right hand or vice versa. There's too many, thank you, they're typing out the word corrections on my keyboard. There's too many corrections. So it's not enabling the child to learn freely. It's more, there's too much of a structure, as in telling the child what they should and they shouldn't be learning. And when an adult, thank you, doesn't quite understand a child, it's almost like saying the child is incorrect or the child is wrong. Whereas it's not the child, it's the adult, thank you, that cannot see or is unaware of that process. Thank you. Thank you. It's like they also sort of show me there's, thank you, there's this sense that, okay, thank you, knowing that the child chooses its family to be born into to learn the lessons, some emotional lessons. But they're also saying to me that in the dream state, as a child is formulating, and they're giving me as in pregnancy, there is information already being processed or sent through. Thank you. They said the umbilical cord as into the human, as in the nutrients and the physical side of things, but there's also the, thank you, like a cord being connected energetically, a silver cord to connect to source. They're also having information coming in. So some children will come in knowing what they want to do or the direction they want to head in, or they come in with a personality, but it's like it's being corrected by the adults around them. So thank you. They're saying it's more about the adults have to learn how to adapt to the child rather than the child adapting to the adults. That's what they're saying to me. So the education in the sense of the curriculum in the schools, thank you. Okay, that's interesting. And what they're also showing me is that they don't understand why we stick children in schools. They're talking about communities bringing up children rather than putting them into big boxes and just following from year to year to year to term to term to term and the next school. So, and thank you. And they said the ability, teaching children, they have to have certain qualifications to achieve what they want to achieve. They said they don't quite understand that either. That's setting children up to fail because of the children that then cannot reach that target. It's as if, thank you, they showed me like like a rubbish heap of humans being placed on there, sort of like they're chucking a human and to say, well, okay, if you don't reach that grade, does that mean you go over there? So already it's setting up humans and children to fail. Those who thinking are creative, those who are not academic, or and they're saying it's not that they're not academic, but it's that there will be some children, yes, that can reach certain targets, as in their learning skills. There might be audio, kinesthetic, whatever, but there will be other children that can't reach that. So it's like, again, you're thinking, they said you're separating children from each other, you're comparing children to each other. And again, that's when you do that to your society already from an early age, you're already creating separation. Whereas they're showing me as in bringing everyone together, sort of to talk, to teach, to learn. So like a community, they're sort of showing me. Thank you. They just said like they let the village teach the children rather than put them into boxes or streamline them into grades. Already that creates separation. So it's more about teaching the children to tune in to their own natural abilities, their own natural superpowers. So the child becomes aware of their own superhero. I think they just said there are many in this audience that have felt in their own childhood, maybe they are the black sheep of the family, or they are different from other children. Maybe they are the observers, whereas it was easier to stand on the outside and to watch others rather than join in a game that meant nothing to them, not having an understanding. Thank you. And then now they're just showing me it's a bit, I don't know why they're going back to the 70s and 80s, maybe because that's my childhood. They said they're spelling out my keyboard, Starsky and Hutch. That is old. And they said rather than showing children these TV programs, then they learn the role playing of the programs and think that's what life should be like, as in fighting or defending themselves. They're thinking, oh, okay, thinking. They said children can learn from climbing a tree that if you climb in a certain direction, you're going to fall off, you hurt yourself. When you fall over, they learn to pick themselves up. There is thank you, a guide that stepped in and said there is a frequency in nature that is similar to the frequency to your higher self. So when you're in nature, that frequency is similar to your higher self. So with children, to take them out in nature, okay, thank you. They said there is a difference from the children that have learned in different periods of times and going back. And they said the children that are now who are learning are more electronical, they said. So they're hearing more noise, they're hearing more sound. So it creates a disconnection from nature. So the more there is a disconnection from nature, we are then creating a different breed of child as they move forward in the future. Thank you. They are showing me a different way. Because I just then said, but as we move forward, okay, let's have a little look. They're talking about, they just said about AI. And they're also just showing me, okay, so they're saying to me that children who learn to connect their psychic self, those children who are going to learn to do that, who work with more with their intuition, connect more with the universal source, that they are more connected to source, which is more connected to the higher self. And they said it's like what we would say AI. AI is like the universe. So the more that you connect to nature, the more you learn about your intuition, the more you learn about your own psychic abilities. If you learn more about being telepathic, which is very much about the psychic self, knowing that when someone wants to connect to you, they're thinking of you, you are picking up on their energy frequency. That is your natural state of higher self. So it should be, they said, in teaching children how to tune in to their energy stream, so then they can navigate themselves. They raise their frequencies that way. That's what they're showing me. That's how it should be done. But we've disconnected, they said, and that's why there's more issues today. They also have just said, thank you, that the children who feel oversensitive with all the electrical sounds and devices, these children, it's about teaching them how to tune in to more of their environment in the sound, in the sense of the quietness, because the quietness is where they will hear their answers. And the quietness they mean is like meditation, to quieten their minds, and then they can move through that. Okay, thank you. They said there is a numbness on your planet at this moment, numbness through drugs, through alcohol. That is a numbness seen as a self-defense mechanism, in the sense of it feels uncomfortable sometimes to tune into depression or the problems that you have, but you are connecting or creating, thank you, you're creating a disconnection from your soul self to your higher self. Children should be taught about higher self to connect this, so that then they can move in that direction. Okay. Also, are making me aware of something, and I can't prove this. They're talking about by tuning into psychicness, your natural abilities opens up more, your brain expands in a different way. We know energetically, but they're also saying the brain formulates it. I don't have any proof for this, so someone has to do the research. They're showing me that the brain, they said, like the hippocampus. Okay, there must be some science proof somewhere that when you meditate, that your brain grows in a different way. The energy frequencies are different from your brain. When you are connecting or disconnecting, as in looking at connecting to electronical devices, they're implying the brain almost like begins to shrink. So they're sort of saying that we will learn it in a different way. So there must be some evidence out there somewhere about brain waves, brain patterns, meditation, using your psychic abilities. Your brain will expand in a different way. So this is what they're saying about children should be taught this, so that they can then connect to source, so that they can be guided into the direction they need to go to. So telepathically being able to communicate with each other more efficiently, whereas today the devices they are being given, they are disconnecting.